So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how you would add Roman numeral analysis to your score in Musescore 4. The first thing to note about Roman numeral analysis is that it's not an automatic process. Unfortunately, it is something that you need to go and input manually. What we've got here is a line of regular Stave text on the top here, and then we have our Roman numeral analysis down below. This is essentially what you would input to get this result. So let's start by just deleting this one chord. Okay, so now, as with normal Stave text and chord symbols, what you need to do is attach it to something on your score. That can either be a note or, in this case, a slash. So with the slash highlighted, I'm going to come up to where it says Add, and then go down to Text, and then select Roman numeral analysis. Now, notice that a new text box opens down below here, and it's going to put it below the Stave. That's okay. We're just going to input that uppercase I for the time being. Now, with that highlighted, let's say I want to move this on top of the Stave instead. Then what I would do is come over to the left sidebar, click on Show More, scroll all the way to the bottom, and just select above in terms of the position instead of below. Now we can see it's put it above the Stave, and I can just align that however I want, let's say like that. And what I'll do every time I want to input a new Roman numeral is that I would just copy and paste this one and then update it accordingly. Okay, I think that's a more streamlined way of doing it. So with that said, let's just jump to how you would input regular majors and minors. Okay, very straightforward. As with normal Stave text, a major chord is just simply uppercase letters, and minor chords are lowercase letters. Next, let's look at accidentals, in other words, flats and sharps. For a flat sign, what you would do is input a lowercase b. Okay, and we can see that it turns that into a flat sign. And for a sharp, what we would do is input a hash. If you want a natural sign for some reason, then you would do a lowercase h on your keyboard. Okay, so notice that it's given us a natural sign here. All right, let's just turn that back into a sharp. Okay, next for augmented chords, all we do is input a plus sign next to the chord that we want to make augmented, and we can see that it makes it like a superscript and puts it nice and neatly at the top of the text. For diminished and half diminished chords, what we want to do is enter a lowercase o for a diminished sign. So we can see here, I'm just going to add on my keyboard a lowercase o, and it turns it into a diminished sign. And then for half diminished, what we want to do is input a 0, and that's going to make that a half diminished. Okay, next for chord extensions, and by chord extensions I mean your major 7s, minor 7s, or in this case 7 sharp 5. All you would do is input the numbers that you want, so in this case 7 hash 5, and that will turn it into a nice neat superscript at the top of this Roman numeral. Now, there may be instances where you want to override the superscript functionality when you're entering your Roman numeral. And this is a prime example. Let's say we have a 1 chord that's a sus 2 and 4. And yes, there are such chords that exist, believe it or not. If I'm entering this sus 2, okay, it's made the 2 superscript, that's fine, slash, and then 4. Now it's made the 4 regular and the 2 superscript. So that looks very odd. Now let's say I want to override the superscript here. What I would do is add a backslash, and that makes the 2 regular. Okay, I don't know about you, but this to me looks too big. I would rather have the sus 2 and 4 be superscript. But as we just saw, we can't actually do that with Roman numeral analysis for some reason. It just won't let us. So in this instance, I would rather use regular Stave text personally. Okay, so this is your regular Stave text. What I would do is take this backslash out. I would highlight the sus 2 and 4, and then I would come over to the left sidebar here, Show More, and then we can see we have the option to make that superscript. Click on that, and we can see we have that nice, neat sus 2 and 4 above. It's a little bit small, so let's just increase the font size there. Okay, to me that looks a lot better, a lot neater than this over here. So that's an instance where I would rather use regular Stave text personally. Okay, next, to get inversions with Roman numeral analysis is very, very easy. Let's say we have this 4-7 chord, 4 major 7, in second inversion. That's what the 6/4 denotes over here. Then this is what you would type in brackets. You don't have to use brackets, but let's say we have the 4-7, right? So I don't want the 7 to be part of the inversion here. So I'm putting the inversion in brackets. That's the only reason I'm using brackets here. But let's just say we don't have a 7 chord, we just have our inversion. Then what I would do is just type 6/4 on my keyboard, okay, on the numbers pad, and there we have our neat little inversion. So that's a 4 chord in second inversion, and you can add up to 3 numbers for your inversions. Okay, last but not least, we have our secondary dominants, and that's very straightforward, just like entering your regular majors and minors here. In this instance, we have a 5 of 6. So, for example, in the key of C, our 6 chord would be an A minor, and this is saying play the 5 chord of the A minor. In other words, play E major. So all you would do is input an uppercase V / lowercase v1. It's very straightforward. Okay, so the last thing I need to let you know about with the Roman numeral analysis in Musescore 4 is that essentially it is just stave text. So you're not going to hear it in playback, unfortunately. Let's just take a listen. Okay, we're not hearing anything there. So the solution, of course, is to either input the actual notes of the chords on the stave or on the tabs, or you can add chord symbols. And if you add a chord symbol, of course, that's going to be heard in playback. So for example, let's just click on the slash, and I want to attach a chord to that. So I'm going to go Control K, and I'm going to make that a C because we're in the key of C. And I'm just going to position this below the stave again. Scroll right to the bottom here, below. Okay, now I'm just going to copy and paste this, Control C, Control V, and let's just do the first 3 chords. We're going to make this a 2 chord, D minor in the key of C, and this is a flat 7, which is a B flat in the key of C. Okay, now we should be hearing those chords. Let's take a listen. Okay, so those are the chord symbols that you're hearing there. Now, if you want to, hear them but not see them, then you just highlight them. And then in the properties pane here, you just uncheck this visible box here. And we can see that they are now no longer visible, but we can still hear them. So that's a little workaround if you want to see the Roman numerals and hear the chords at the same time. So that's really all there is to it. If I've left anything out, please let me know. Ask whatever questions you have in the comments down below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.